Good morning, everyone. Today's topic, I have no idea, but we are in Kings 2, first book. Uh, ah, there is one thing in my life, mostly because, well, I guess, you're in tune with spirit world, one way or the other. Do I have a choice? Yeah, sure. We always have a choice. That's where free will comes in. Yes. Mm, I've been asked by many people, so are you a psychic? Are you a blah, blah, blah? I'm going, no, I'm not. I take the fact that no one can predict the future or see into the future very seriously. And it does state in the Bible somewhere, not even God, our parental God, can do that. Well, that should tell us something. Oh, but why not? What's the reason for that? Well, I'll tell you what that is. The reason for that is free will. We have free will. Every human being has free will. Everyone. Just depends on how you apply it. Yes? Hmm. Due to that, the future can't be foretold. Because otherwise, if one can just tell someone, that's how it's going to be for you, this is how it is. And most people want to know about their love life, right? Yes? It's an interesting one to me. Why not ask the more important question? How am I going to fare in spirit world once I'm dead? Right? No. Everybody wants to know about who's going to be in my life. Who am I going to love? Who's going to love me? Da, 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 da. Then people lay their cards or, what did I say? Uh, mediate or what? Uh, meditate, right? Yes. Oh yeah, let me get into spirit world. Oh yeah, look into future. Look into the future. What are people doing who are doing that to other people? They're taking away their freedom of will to choose what is in their future, what will happen in their future. Then, having been influenced in a direction that is supposed to become one or the other outcome due to the fact that someone else told them what's in the future, what happens? You miss, actually, what your path is into the future. Yes? Does that make sense? No? Think just what I said. We all have free will given to us by God. That's why He does not either predict the future. Yeah, but we have in the Old Testament to the New Testament that the Messiah will come as Savior. Then now, many people believe that from the New Testament to the completed Testament, which includes the divine principle, there's second coming. Oh, wait a minute. It's in the Bible, regardless, into Revelations, that, oh, there will be a second coming. Looking into the future. Yes? Okay. What are people doing now? Waiting for the second coming. Putting all their eggs in that one basket. Yes? It may have already happened. Oh. Nobody knows. Yet, people's minds are focused on what? And due to that fact, it happened from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and it's happening now. What are people doing? Oh, I'm a Christian. I have faith. I know. I'm going to be on the right side, not on the left side. I'm not going to be left behind. All that jazz. Yes? Interesting to me. In the meantime, and pointing fingers at everybody else. Yes? Having to choose sides. What do I need to do? What would be the right thing to do? Rather than, well, you're here now. What's that matter? And what should you be doing? Well, if you listen to any of my videos, then you should know by now. Okay, all right. Had to start out with that. So no, I'm not a psychic or anything. Just because one is in tune with spirit world doesn't mean one starts to abuse that to start to control people as well. Yes? Control them how? One does help them. No, you're not. Anywho, so let's get going. So many people to teach the right thing. All right. Oh, interesting. I already circled that. Did I circle the wrong thing yesterday? I probably did. Oh. Okay, we are in the first book of Kings 2. David's testament and his death. Oh, getting there, huh? I already have markings in here. This came up at another time at some point, did it? Oh, interesting. As David's life drew to its close, he laid this charge on his son Solomon. I am going to the way of all the earth. Be strong and show yourself a man. Observe the injunctions of Yahweh your God. Follow his ways in keeping his laws, his commandments, his ordinances, and his decrees, as stands written in the law of Moses, so that you may be successful in everything you do and undertake, and that Yahweh may fulfill the promise which he made me. If your sons are careful how to behave and walk loyally before me with all their heart and soul, you will never want for a man on the throne of Israel. Do as I say, not as I do. That's all I need to say here. You know, too, what Joab, son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the 2 commanders of the army of Israel, Abner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether. How he murdered them, shedding the blood of war in time of peace, and staining the belt around my waist and the sandals on my feet with the blood of war. Ha 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 ha! Didn't I say something before about Joab's on this side, then on that side, then he does this, then he does that? And what did David do? Anything, really? Now he's laying the responsibility at his son's feet about the guy. And he's letting him know, this is what he did to me. So you take care of that. Sounds like it, doesn't it? David is to the last. He stays David, doesn't he? Interesting. You will be wise not to let his gray head go down to Sheol in peace. Oh, as regards the sons of Barzillai of Gilead, treat them with faithful love. Let them be among those who eat at your table, for they were as kind to me when I was fleeing from your brother Absalom. You also have with you Shimei, son of Gera, the Benjaminite from Bahurim. He called down a terrible curse on me the day I left for Mahanaim, but he came down to meet me at the Jordan, and I swore to him by Yahweh that I would not put him to death. But you must not let him go unpunished. And you are a wise man and will know how to deal with him to bring his gray head down to Sheol in blood. Whoa, what? Ooh. Hi, David. What were you adding to your heap of already not so cool things you've done? Oh, I don't know if you guys are getting this, but ooh. Okay, all right. Well, there it is. Hey, David. So David fell asleep with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David. David was king of Israel for a period of 40 years. He reigned at Hebron for 7 years and in Jerusalem for 33. Okay. Okay, the death of Adonijah. Solomon then sat on the throne of David, and his sovereignty was securely established. Adonijah, son of Haggith, went to Bathsheba, mother of Solomon. "Do you bring peace?" she asked. He replied, "Yes, peace." Then he said, "I have something to say to you." "Say on," she replied. "You know," he said, "that the kingdom should have come to me, and that all Israel expected me to be king. But the crown eluded me and fell to my brother, since it came to him from Yahweh. Now I have one request to make you. Do not refuse me." "Go on," she said. He went on. "Please ask King Solomon, for he will not refuse you, to give me Abishag of Shunem in marriage." "Very well," Bathsheba replied. "I shall speak to the king about you." So Bathsheba went to King Solomon to speak to him about Adonijah. The king got up to meet her and bowed before her. He then sat down on his throne. A seat was brought for the king's mother, and she sat down on his right. She said, "I have one small request to make you. Do not refuse me." "Mother," the king replied, "make your request, for I shall not refuse you." "Let Abishag of Shunem," she said, "be given in marriage to your brother Adonijah." King Solomon replied to his mother, "And why do you request Abishag of Shunem for Adonijah? You might as well request the kingdom for him, since he is my elder brother, and Abiathar the priest and Joab son of Zeruiah are on his side." And King Solomon swore by Yahweh, "May God bring unnameable ills on me, and worse ills too," he said, "if Adonijah does not pay for these words of his with his life. As Yahweh lives, who set me securely on the throne of my father David, and who, as he promised, has given me a dynasty, Adonijah shall be put to death this very day." And King Solomon commissioned Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, to strike him down, and that was how he died. Oh, what a detailed story. No idea. Okay, there you go. Solomon killed his first brother. Right? Yeah. Okay, there you go. What do they call that? Well, anyway. Hmm. Unbelievable. What a beginning, huh? Mm-hmm. For him. Well, let's keep reading. The fate of Abiathar and Joab. As for Abiathar the priest, the king said to him, "Go to Anathoth, to your estate. You deserve to die. But I am not going to put you to death now, since you carried the ark of Yahweh in the presence of my father David and shared all my father's hardships." Ooh, he's afraid to kill a priest. Okay. Solomon deprived Abiathar of the priesthood of Yahweh, thus fulfilling the prophecy which Yahweh had uttered against the house of Eli at Shiloh. Wait a minute. Okay, I got it, but is Abiathar a Levite? Solomon wouldn't, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't know that now. I mean, those were the only ones that got put in place as a tribe to be what, right? Hmm. But then was David a Levite? And his sons were priests. Oh, okay. So they veered off from everything. All right, all right. God's direction here is all getting lost. Oh, they mention God, throw God in there every once in a while. So it sounds good, I guess. When the news reached Joab, for Joab had lent his support to Adonijah, though he had not supported Absalom, he fled to the tent of Yahweh and clung to the horns of the altar. I don't know, does that work? I guess. King Solomon was told, "Joab has fled to the tent of Yahweh. He's there beside the altar." On this, Solomon sent word to Joab. Does anybody just, okay, beside the altar, where is that? Inside the tent? Fled to the tent. Or outside the tent? By the, where they burn all their offerings? Which horns is he hanging on to? I thought only certain people are allowed in that tent, so that doesn't matter anymore either. I guess people figured out that God doesn't really strike you dead if you. Okay, all right. I don't know. No, they're not that detailed here now. On this, Solomon sent word to Joab. "What reason did you have for fleeing to the altar?" Joab replied, "I was afraid of you and fled to Yahweh." Solomon then sent Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. "Go," he said, "and strike him down." Accordingly, Benaiah went to the tent of Yahweh. By order of the king, He said, "Come out." "No," he said. Oh, so he is inside the tent. "I will die here." So Benaiah brought word back to the king. "This is what Joab said, and the answer he gave me." "Do as he says," the king replied. "Strike him down and bury him, and so rid me and my family today of the innocent blood which Joab has shed." Ooh, they're going to kill him inside the tent. Interesting. There's no respect for God here anymore. Done. "Yahweh will bring his blood down on his own head, because he struck down 2 more upright and better men than he, and without my father David's knowledge. Put to the sword Abner, son of Ner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amasa, son of Jether, commander of the army of Judah." But Joab was still in the service of David for many, many years after that. Yeah, when you need them people, huh? Can't get rid of him. Yeah, may their blood come down on the head of Joab and his descendants forever. But may David, his descendants, his dynasty, his throne, have peace forever from Yahweh. Ooh, that's a weird way to put that. Whereupon Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, went out, struck Joab down, and put him to death. He was buried at his home in the desert. In his place, as head of the army, the king appointed Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and in place of Abiathar, the priest Zadok. All right? He's cleaning house here. Interesting how he cleans it, though. I say lots of blood on that throne of Israel. The disobedience and death of Shimei. Oh, dear me. Here we go. Next. The king had Shimei summoned to him. "Build yourself a house in Jerusalem," he told him. "You are to live there. Do not leave it to go anywhere at all. The day you go out and cross the ravine of the king Kidron, be sure you will certainly die. Your blood will be on your own head." "That is a fair demand," Shimei replied to the king. "Your servant will do as my lord the king orders." And for a long time Shimei lived in Jerusalem. Okay. But when 3 years had gone by, it happened that 2 of Shimei's slaves ran away to Achish, son of Maacah, king of Gath. Shimei was told, "Your slaves are in Gath." On this, Shimei got up, saddled his donkey, and went to Achish at Gath to find his slaves. He went off and brought his slaves back from Gath. Solomon was informed that Shimei had left Jerusalem for Gath and come back again. Wow, what was so important about these slaves to risk his life? It doesn't say. The king had Shimei summoned to him. "Did I not make you swear by Yahweh," he said, "and did not warn you? The day you leave to go anywhere at all, be sure you will certainly die." To which you replied, "That is a fair demand." "Why did you not keep the oath of Yahweh, to Yahweh, and the order which I imposed on you?" The king then said to Shimei, "You know well all the evil you did to my father David. Yahweh is about to bring your wickedness down on your own head. But may King Solomon be blessed, and may the throne of David be kept secure before Yahweh forever." The king gave orders to Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. He went out and struck Shimei down. And that was how he died. And now the kingdom was securely in Solomon's hands. Whoop-de-doo. So here he asks, "Why did you not keep the oath to Yahweh in the order which I imposed on you?" No reply. The king then said to Shimei, that's how it goes on, "No reply. Why did you do that? What was so important about those 2 men?" So, tells me one thing. This is in the past. I can very well kind of put the whole story together here without having all the information. That Shimei was set up. They most likely weren't slaves. They may have been his own children, kidnapped, or something. Grandchildren, who knows, right? And he may have been told, "You better come and get them yourself." We'll give them back to you, but you have to come out of Jerusalem and come and get them. And he did. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, I'm assuming. But, so I said, very detailed sometimes, right? Even bring a chair for the mother, this, that, right? Yes. And then we got the questions, but no answers. Okay, all right. I'm just saying. There it is. Okay. Wow. Solomon started his days as a king by doing what? Fulfilling his father's wishes. To do what? Kill all the people. David didn't have the heart to kill himself. Okay. Well, anyway, there it is. What else can I say to that? What I start out with? Solomon does something every time, it seems like, when he's taking care of one of the people that his father didn't take care of for one reason or another, though it could have. He, the few people there, which he could have easily just put under guard, they fell, right? They fell in the sight of God, so he took care of them. And while he killed them, murdered them, that's murder too, it's just killed them, he made sure to let everyone know that that secures the throne of David, now me, Solomon, and all of my descendants, and I don't know what. I find that very interesting, or very hypocritical of Solomon, since he killed one of his brothers. Yes? Did he stop there? Did he kill all of the family as well of Adonijah? I don't know. Doesn't say. Also doesn't say why did he want that wife, that woman. What an odd request. I don't know. I'd have to go back. I can't remember what that woman, how she must have been connected to someone important, right? That's a threat then. Okay. I don't know. I can't even. I don't even. All right. So we have to, right? Already, I can tell we have to add Solomon to the prayer list that we all have. What a beginning. Well, Shimei didn't die until several years later. I said, it seems to me, and how quickly, right, the news reached Solomon that Shimei had left. I'm sure he tried to leave kind of undercover, right? And how quickly it was known to Solomon that he did that. Which tells me that seems like Solomon was just waiting for him to do that so he could kill him. And since it didn't happen, something was, a plan was put in place so that Shimei had no choice but to leave, it seems like. I can't see why you would risk your life, your family's life, everything, right, for a couple of slaves who ran away. That doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, well, anyway. There we go. And they ran away. It says they ran away. It didn't say they were taken somehow, right? Okay. Well, anywho, there it is. Ah, Father. Yeah. Power. Once people are in power, they start to change. Too much power, they start to change. We think just of emperors and kings and queens and leaders and presidents and I don't know what. People that really have this high standing. You got enough money, you're regarded as the number one billionaire. It used to be millionaire, now it's billionaire. Then you've got so much money that everybody wants it. Everybody wants some of it. What are you going to do with all that money? Right? Some people, well, let's see if I can get some. Well, okay. But it's not like that. It's even in a family. When I've talked about this before, in a proper family, you hand out responsibilities to the members of the family that are meant for certain positions, right? Yes, yeah, all kinds of different things. It isn't just meant for one person to run the whole family. Yes, you have a head of the household, right? Yes, but as a family, you work together. My granddaughter came. She we still say it. And she came up with that. Oh, came up with that. I mean, she's the one that kind of started it, right? Anytime we did anything, this a few years, she'd say, "Rosie, teamwork makes the dream work." Yes, all right. That's absolutely correct, and it's kind of become the motto in our family. Teamwork makes the dream work. Sadly, when one does that, one has to really be vigilant and pay attention to the people around you in your family when someone suddenly wants to pull extra power towards them and take away responsibilities from another member of the family. Right? Yes? And they often do it in a very sneaky way, or just it's interesting. Right? Yes? Talking behind people's back, whispering this or that in one or the other's ears about what someone may have said or did, right? Rather than addressing things out in the open. Isn't that right? Yeah. Interesting. Power. The greed for power. I'm not saying power is bad. One can use power, right? A good position is for many great things. People look up to you, this and that. But the greed that follows power, it follows power. There's the power power is to me is completely neutral, right? Yet it can go either way. Jealousy and greed often follow power close behind, and it starts to invade people's heart to mind. It just does. I found that. Gosh, I can't even think of one person that I've known or situations that I've seen where that isn't true. It's sad to me that Solomon didn't consider Shimei in a different light. It sounds to me like Shimei, after he realized his folly of cursing David, though again, was he wrong? It's very little. There's very little information on why, first of all, Shimei did that. We have a little, which kind of tells us Shimei seemed to still know what God's guidance was supposed to be like. Then, when David returned, Shimei still, in a way, followed God's guidance, kind of, by, well, he is back. The one that we all saw was, in a way, anointed, or we believed, anointed by God. And he amended his ways, seems like. Yes, realized that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. David didn't let go, and Solomon finished. Killed a person he had not really had any kind of give and take with. See, that's to me, as I said, this is an odd story there, right there. Where without first, he asked him, but we're not getting the answer. Uh, did you just ask and then didn't even give him a chance to answer and just went on? It's about, why did you do this? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter because this is what I'm going to do. Because what if Shimei would have given him an answer and Solomon had to say, ooh, now I can't do what my father asked me to do, which is kill him. Yes? Interesting, isn't it? What power will do to you. Hmm. Anyway. Well, we're still trying to find God in all of it. Yes, the parental God is there somewhere. We'll have to just keep reading. Yes. Anyhow, anywho, and anyhow. Hmm. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. And I will talk to y'all another time.